What's up, y'all? It's your boy eBay Fight Predictions with your UFC ABC 2, which is an interesting title. Marvin Vettori versus Darren till full card predictions. This is super late. It's fucking 3 o'clock right now, right now. But I'm gonna do quick fire. I might sound a little monotoned right now, but there are people sleeping in this house, so it is what it is. But I will talk about these fights. Oh yeah, and I ain't forgot about your Capper comparison. I almost messed up your name. Gotta put some respect on Capper's name. But what's up with you, man? Hit me up in the comments, man. I wanna hear how you doing. But yeah, let's actually talk about some of these fights, man. Do Young Jung, I think is it Un Jung or Da Un Jung versus William Knight. I'm sorry if I'm mispronounced. I'm sorry to my Asian fans if y'all feeling some type of way. Uh, you know, I barely got a high school. I barely graduated high school. But yeah, this is an awesome fight for William Knight. It's actually it's a good high profile matchup. He's fighting a guy that's been looking good. I know he's coming off a draw, but he also has had wins over decent guys like Mike Rodriguez. So I say this is a higher level of competition. Nothing against Alonzo Menifield. Menifield does have some good wins, but I feel like this is a matchup that William Knight should want. A guy coming off at least he's not coming off a loss. Basically, that's what it is. But I still think Jung is on another level than him. I'm saying Jung by second round TKO. I think the Sam Alvey performance, it was somewhat suspect, but he didn't do that bad. He did get a knockdown. I see some fire in him. Fighting spirit basically, and he was when his coaches told him, "Hey, you got to get after it," he went after it. So I can't be mad at it. I am going Jung by second round TKO over William Knight. I haven't been too impressed. He does have that loss to Tafan and Nushkui. I think Nushkui. And man, I'm mispronouncing the homie's name, but he does have that. He's been KO'd before, so I don't believe in his chin. He did have a really good impressive win over Aleska Kamor, which I was surprised by. I didn't think he was gonna get that W. But he did his thing. Good on him. He out grappled him, but I did think he lost the first round. The next two, he ended up clutching it out. So give him that. He does have some fighting spirit. But Jung by second round TKO. Next fight, Sam Alvey versus Julian Marquez. Man, two boys I've not been too impressed with. I guess I've been kind of impressed with Julian Marquez's last performance to clutch that out against my boy Maki Patalo, man. Oh, that brings so much pain in my in my heart, man, seeing what Maki did out there. But Julian has fighting spirit. He's tough, man. He's beating guys like Darren Stewart. Now, that doesn't look that good after Darren Stewart's performance against Eric Anders. But in my humble opinion, I still think Darren Stewart's a decent guy in the division. Sam Alvey also, has a former opponent on this card, Jung. He did go to a draw with, and he had a decent performance. The thing with Sam Alvey is he's 34. He's not old. He's just not really athletic. Julian Marquez has somewhat of an athletic frame. Uh, he will be the smaller. Well, he's not going to be the smaller guy, but he does have the shorter reach. Sam Alvey does have long arms. I can see Sam Alvey. He does have one hell of a straight right cross. He does have that in his book. But besides that, he doesn't have a lot of things. He has a decent clinch game, but he doesn't have anything that, to me, I can see Sam. He needs a win. Oh man, in his last 5 fights, he's like 0-4 and then 1, considering the draw. So he's like lost 4 straight fights. I don't know what he does in his career. It's a situation where, you know, I don't really trust Julian Marquez in this matchup, but neither do Sam Alvey. It's really like, who do you trust to get the W? And I guess I gotta go Julian Marquez, man. I think by decision. I don't think no one's gonna get finished in this one. That's just my opinion. Um, Next fight, my boy Jim Miller versus Joe Select. Man, Joe is, a murderer. I have a lot of love for Jim Miller. He's my boy, man. I picked him against Roosevelt Roberts. He did me good. Roosevelt has had somewhat of a rocky road, but he's a young guy. He needs time to mature and grow. That's a lot of these guys. They put so much expectations on these guys, and they don't give them the time to grow. Now, if they end up not being too good, then we found out our answer that they weren't that too good. But give them the time and the chance to grow. So it is what it is. Joseph Select, his performance against Austin Hubbard was just flawless. I was just so shocked. This kid's a legitimate guy. He's an interesting guy where he's not necessarily a finisher. He is somewhat of a boring fighter, but he is good at what he does. He's a good grappler. He knows how to win. He's not bad at this, in the stand-up. The way he shoots for his takedowns is very, very smart, but he's fighting against a goddamn grinder if I've ever seen one. Yes, Jim had somewhat of a, not a good performance against Vince Pichel, and I picked him in that fight, and I thought he was going to do his thing. I remember I did so horrible. I think it was UFC 252. I think that was the card. I did so bad on that card. But and Jim was one of the reasons why, because I picked him. But I think Joseph Select gets this done, via decision to go to the distance. I think this is going to be really, really fun. Kind of like almost like a grappling fight, basically. We're going to see a lot of cool transitions, but I think Select will dominate, and we'll just win within the distance. We'll get the more dominant positions. He has no problem, beating guys with into the to go into the distance, or beating guys through points or whatever. Against his against Matt Wyman, I felt like he could have just fucking killed that guy, and he didn't. He just kind of just won. So I wouldn't put it past him to go out here and get a decision. But the submission over Austin Hubbard is an impressive feat. I've seen Austin Hubbard fight guys like Davi Ramos, and I forgot the wrestler he fought. I think it was a silver Olympic medalist. I forgot his name. How did I forget his name? I forgot his name, but he had a really, really good performance over him. So, for Select to go out there and just dominate him in the grappling, I was shocked. Sorry for that. Next fight, Scott Holtzman versus Matsu Gamrot, man. Gamrot is a stud, man. I thought he won his last fight, in my humble opinion. Against Guram Kudaledze, I think that's how you say the guy's name. I thought he won his last fight. I thought he did his thing. Scott Holtzman's coming off a really bad knockout loss to Benil Dariush, but I don't think Gamrot has that kind of power that Benil has, and I think Scott is gonna fight a completely different fight. I think he's gonna be a little somewhat gun shy, but that might protect him to go within the distance. Gamrot's he's a well-rounded fighter. He's good at the grappling, he's good at the striking, he knows how to set up his grappling with strikes. Scott Holtzman is a grinder. I give him a lot of respect. He does have some wins. He did beat Jim Miller. I'm positive, yeah, he did beat Jim Miller. So he's a good fighter. But I think Gamrot gets this done by decision, man. This kid's just, a stud, man. He's really, really good. This is the future of the lightweight division. Next up at welterweight, Impa Kasanganay versus Sasha Palatnikov. I think that's how you say his name. Impa, it's interesting. He's cutting down at welterweight after suffering a really, really bad KO loss to Joaquin Buckley. Viral. Sasha's also coming off his own win, via knockout or TKO versus Louis Kose. He was the underdog in that one. He outworked him. He's a good gas tank. Decent Muay Thai fighter. I don't know how good his takedown defense is, but this is probably going to be in the stand-up. That's how they're going to fight this fight. I don't really respect Sasha. I seen him talking mess to Woodley in his comment section, and you can say whatever you want about Woodley, but Woodley is a former champion, and Woodley does do it to himself sometimes. He runs his mouth a little too much, but Woodley was going through a really rough loss to my boy Colby Covington, my man, the Captain America. And Sasha was talking shit under his comments, just saying you don't got the heart, just retire. Just it is what it is. Like it's your opinion, and it's not a wrong opinion, but just the tone of it. I don't know. It just to me is like, who are you to go and say that about like a former champion? By the way, like he would murder you. Maybe okay. You know what? I shouldn't say that. I don't know about Woodley no more. But I don't know if he would. You never know. But Woodley in his prime would kill this dude, man. I swear to God, he would kill this dude. So, it is what it is. But I got Impa getting this done by second round TKO. I've seen him get finished before, by Minor Lazez. And Minor's a good fighter. I think Impa working with Henry Hooft, working at Stanford MMA, I think has really, really been a great decision by his part. And I think we'll see just better, cleaner, more defined kickboxing out of him. So I got Impa Kasanganay by second round TKO. Next fight, Jake Shore versus Hunter Azure, man. Hunter Azure is a good wrestler, out of Phoenix, Arizona. An accomplished high school wrestler. Multiple time state champion. But Jake Shore is one of those kids that's just, a prospect. He's really good everywhere, man. He's really good at the striking. He's really good in the grappling. What he did to, what's his face? Aaron Phillips, whatever you want to say about Aaron Phillips, he's a bomber or whatever. That kid's a good striker. I studied that kid a lot, and I was like, man, that kid's really, really good. Jake Shore just took him down and did what he wanted to do with him. Hunter Azure, in his last fight, didn't look that good to me against Cole Smith. Cole Smith is a grinder. He's a grappler. I give him his respect. But I think Jake Shore is just a level above him. The Brian Kelleher loss doesn't look good too. Getting knocked out like that, man, that's not good. I think Jake Shore gets this done by decision. I think he's just above him. Could I see an upset here? Yeah, Hunter Azure is not no pussy. He's not going to go out there and just let some kid take his orange juice. I'm not saying that about him, but I just think Jake Shore is just a level above him. Hunter Azure will give a good fight, but I think Jake is just, wherever the fight goes, I think Jake will be fine. Like, even if it goes into grappling, I don't think Hunter will dominate. He could stall. I could see him stalling, but I don't think Jake will allow him to do that to him. But I could see it happen. But worst case scenario. But I think Jake gets this done by decision. Next fight, Luis Saldaña versus Jordan Griffin. Man, Jordan Griffin coming back, 18-8 record versus 14-6 record. Jordan Griffin has been through the ringer. He's lost to a lot of I'll be honest, he lost a lot of guys in UFC. Losing a fight to Danny, no shame in that. Danny is a top featherweight. You've seen what he did to Gavin Tucker, man. I was shocked, and then, lost to Chase Skelly, and then, has a loss to Yusuf Zalal. Not bad losses in my humble opinion. Some of those guys are decent fighters, they work hard. They have skill. I wouldn't say they're great fighters or really good fighters, but they're decent, and he's a decent fighter. Luis Saldaña is a good striker. His Contender Series was really it was a good fight, but I think Jordan Griffin's gonna be hungry. Rufus Sport is a good gym, and sometimes they lose, but sometimes they win, and when they need to win, they win. And I think Jordan Griffin will get the takedowns that are necessary, and will out wrestle Saldaña, and will win this fight. I got Jordan Griffin by decision for the upset. I think Jordan is 75% is going Saldaña, but it's not bad, kind of like percentage. My girl Norma Dumont versus Bay McLeck. I think that's how you say her name. Dude, Norma is thick, yo. She's on the thick side. Not really much to talk about. Norma is 5-1. She's coming off a win over Ashley Evans Smith, where she looked really good. She's also coming off a loss to Megan Anderson, who's not working in the UFC, but also did fight for a world championship, if that matters to you. And co-main evented UFC 259 over Peter Yan versus Aljamain Sterling. That still boggles my mind to this day. But against B, she's she has a good. She seems like a decent fighter. Fights out of Sweden. She does have some experience on the Tough Show. She is coming off a win over Veronica Macedo. That was 11 months ago. Norma is coming off a fight 3 months ago, so she's been somewhat active. She did, oh my god, what she did at the weigh-ins was fucking horrendous. But I think she will get this win. I do got Norma Dumont taking this by decision, just based on really experience. So I got Norma Dumont in this. Next fight, Yorgan de Castro versus Jarjis Danho. I think Danho. I think that's how you say his name or whatever. This is a good fight, man. Two heavyweights that can crack. Danho is he's a good fighter, man. Actually he's not a good fighter. I shouldn't say that. I need to stop throwing that word around. Like, he's a decent guy. He's very, he hits a lot in the third round. Has a decent gas tank. He doesn't really fade a lot. Yorgan, Man, we've seen him fade, but legitimately, he lost to some decent guys. He hasn't lost to trash. Carlos Felipe is a good fighter. Greg Hardy almost got ranked in the heavyweight division. In terms of heavyweights, I wouldn't say heavyweights are the greatest in terms of technical prowess, you could say, but in that division, Yorgan isn't that bad. He also has a win over that boy Justin Tafa, knocked him out. That's where Yorgan really got a lot of his fame from and notoriety. Here's what I'm gonna say. And some people thought Yorgan and Castro beat Carlos Felipe. I'm just gonna say that. I'm gonna put that out there. But Yorgan needs this win badly. Danho's last fight was 4 years ago. Alright, he's 37. Yorgan should win this fight. I got Yorgan by decision. I think he'll calf kick the shit out of this guy. And I think he showed some fight IQ going into the clinch with Carlos Felipe, but the problem is, they had a good referee. I'm not even going to be mad. The referee in that fight against Yorgan de Castro and Carlos Felipe was calling him out on stalling, so he couldn't do that. But I think if he does get to stall and gets that control time on the cage, I think he can get this done by decision. I don't think he knocks him out. He could, but I don't think so. Next fight, Darren Rodriguez versus a guy that doesn't care about his career, Mike Perry. I'm not going to talk a lot about this fight. This pick could change. I have to see something out of Mike, man. Mike has completely given up on his career. He's just doing this for a check, and I don't know how many times the UFC can put him out there playing this game. He's a good fighter. I'm not saying he's a bad fighter. He has a lot of talent, but he's just a waste of talent. I've never seen a guy in my life do this to their career. He has legitimate boxing experience. He was in the Mayweather gym, and the Mayweather gym, they have some boxers in there. They have some MMA fighters. Kevin Lee used to work out there a lot with Dewey Cooper, but you rarely see, Floyd Sr., Floyd's dad, obviously, holding pads for MMA fighters, and he was holding pads for Mike Perry. Mike Perry is a decent guy. He used to have some hands. And, I remember, I think, I forgot the podcast I watched, where they were interviewing Mike, and Mike, he said on paper, I have some of the best hands in the 170-pound division, right? And at a certain point, I could have agreed with that. But when you go down and you see how his hands have denigrated, and the fact is, it's because of the people that are holding pads for you. If someone isn't holding pads for you the right way, the repetitions for your punches decrease, right? In terms of the right repetitions. It's like even weightlifting. If you put in the right work, you will get the right results. If you put in the bad work, you'll get the bad results. And you've seen it. He was getting outworked by Mickey Gall on the feet. That dude was outboxing you, bro. It's just insanity to me that he can go out there and just be proud. And then, I told y'all, man, Tim Means was going to fucking eat that fool up alive, So, I'm done with Mike, I've been done with him after that Mickey Gall fight. I knew what was better for me. I knew not to pick that dumb. Darren Rodriguez has aspirations of being a champion one day. All right? Yeah, he's coming off a loss to Dalby. Some people thought he won that fight. I thought he lost. I'm not delusional. But I know I'm probably going to piss some people off about that. But, he has aspirations of winning. I don't know if Mike has that anymore. I don't know if he has that drive. I don't know why he fights if he doesn't have that drive. Maybe it's just the money. It's sad to see someone throw away their career like that. Throw away like fucking it's some goddamn Mike and Ike. So, but I'm not going to waste my fucking breath on a guy that doesn't care about his career. It's just shameful. But this pick could change. If I see the wins, if I see him with a coach maybe or an actual team and, actually, real training partners. I know he had I forgot the guy's name, the heavyweight from PFL, his homie. He's always hanging out with, I think Spartan something is his Instagram. But no, that guy, he's, anyone that's condoning what he's doing right now should all be ashamed of themselves. They should all go to jail. His manager, those fucking, what are they called? The fucking losers. I forgot their names. they're so lucky I forgot their names. They managed Jorge and John Jones. Those fucking two fat Mexicans, man. They're so lucky I forgot their name. And oh man, next fight, Daukaus versus Aliaskhab, Khizriev. I think that's how you say his name. Uh, you know, the nickname's the Black Wolf. Man, my boy Daukaus got a fucking handful here, man. This guy Khizriev is 13-0. One of his victories was over Paul Harris, ground and pound. By the way, beat the shit out of him. The referee in that fight did not care about Paul Harris's life, probably to make him condone for all the goddamn heel hooks he put on people. This is a tough fight for Daukaus. This is a legitimate guy he's going to be fighting, but I think Kyle's super tough, man. In my humble opinion, I felt like Daukaus fought the best version of Brendan Allen. I think he kind of took a piece of Brendan Allen's soul in that fight. That's what I'm starting to think, because Brendan hasn't been the same guy. He's been a striker. He doesn't even feel like grappling no more. You've seen the Sean Strickland fight. It was one of the most shameful things I ever seen in my fucking life. It was just like throwing your fight IQ out the fucking window and, doing nothing. Like, just go out there. Yeah, I'm going to outstrike Sean Strickland, or I'm going to outbox Sean Strickland. He's just fucking doing you dirty, So I could go off on Brendan Allen for ages, but Daukaus is a tough guy. He's coming off a win over Dustin Stolze. I think that's how you say his name. Some German dude. He was a contender series guy who broke somebody's arm with a takedown. So they were telling me that he was good. I didn't see it really. Daukaus out, just put him on the cage, outworked him, just did everything he wanted to do to him. This is Khizriev. I think that's how you say his name. Khizriev is a really, really good opponent. But I think Daukaus will get this done. He's longer. I think in the grappling situations, he won't be outmatched. I got Daukaus getting this one by decision. I don't know why this shit keeps doing that. Next fight, John Makdessi versus Ignacio Bahamondes. I think that's his name, Bahamondes. The kid with the crazy front kick KO at on the Contender Series. I'm gonna keep this short. I got Bahamondes by decision. Makdessi's somewhat tough. He's been KO'd before. He's coming out of TriStar, so they're a decent team. He do too much talking though. He does do a lot of that. He's 35. A lot of his knockdowns I've seen, even against this fight against Trujillo. I was really not impressed. Trujillo looked like he was slipping on water more than just getting hurt. I think this Bahamondes kid gets this done. He knocks him out. Not knocks him out. He gets this done by decision. I don't think Makdessi is winning this. I've never been a big fan of Makdessi. I don't know. I'm not a big fan of him. Next fight, Nina Ansaroff versus Mackenzie Dern. I got my girl Nina. What's wrong with y'all? I got my girl Nina getting this done. I think Nina is a good grappler. She lost to Tatiana Flores, but that's a girl that destroyed Carla Esparza. And you see what Carla Esparza is doing right now. She's about to. If she wins this fight against Zhao Yan, I don't think she's gonna do it. But if she wins this next fight, man, I think she's she might be fighting for a title. So that's the level opponent Nina has lost to, and Nina beat Claudia Gadelha, who has a win over Carla Esparza. I know MMA math is weird, and you're not supposed to use it, but sometimes it works though. And this is a matchup that really favors, for some odd reason, or doesn't really favor, people think favors Mackenzie Dern, but I don't really see a way of success. I don't think Mackenzie can get the takedown on her, and I don't see her outboxing Nina. I think Nina, she's coming off a really long layoff, and she did have a kid, so that that's going to be playing in your head. But I think Nina beats this girl's ass via decision. I don't give a fuck what she's doing with I forgot his name. I forgot the coach's name. Michael Bisping's coach. Perillo. Yeah, his name's Perillo. I don't give a fuck what she's doing with Perillo. She's about to get outworked. She did not look that good. Some people thought she lost that fight, her last fight against Verna. I thought a lot of people thought she lost that fight to Verna Jandarova. So I picked Mackenzie, but I think Mackenzie's losing this. I think Nina is going to get this done by decision, y'all. Next fight, Arnold Allen versus Sadiq Yusuff. Awesome fight right here, y'all. I love this fight. I gotta go, my boy Sadiq Yusuff, that Nigerian homie. Sadiq is on a different level than some of these guys, man. I hold that victory he has over Mike Davis to a high regard. And then what he was able to do to Gabriel Benitez, good fighter, man. Good fighter at an AKA. And then his last performance against Andre Fili was really good. Arnold Allen is a technician, man. He's a good fighter too, but I was not impressed with his fight against Nick Lentz. I was like, come on, homie, you can't be doing that. I know he's a short nosed opponent. He's supposed to be fighting, a short, stocky guy that's gonna throw a crazy overhand at him. So, and Josh Emmett. But that was 1 year ago too, which is crazy how long ago that was. And also Sadiq is also coming off a 1 year layoff. So really, in terms of activity, 1 year and 1 month for both guys. By the way, that's fucking crazy. That is crazy that they've both done that. But I gotta take Sadiq Yusuff by decision. I think just 28-29, close fight. Arnold will have his moments. He's a technician. But fucking Gilbert Melendez is how you get into the rankings. Like, yeah, he has a win over Makwan Americani, a guy that's always is so close to being ranked but just can't fucking get there. I don't know why. He's just one of those guys. But Arnold Allen it is whatever with him. But I think Sadiq Yusuff gets this done. He's a TriStar guy too, so it is also to put into consideration. He's good everywhere. That's what I like about the kid. He's good everywhere, but he's not great in one particular area. Sadiq has that X factor, and that's his power. And he can wrestle. He's not a bad wrestler. He did get taken down by Andre Fili a lot, but it is what it is. And then Darren Till versus Marvin Vettori in the main event. I do have a breakdown on this, so go check that out. That is coming up. I gotta go, 4th round submission via Vettori. I'm gonna keep it short. Darren Till, he's disappointed me against Robert Whitaker. I did pick him, and sadly he went against me. I did ended up picking Vettori to beat Jack Hermanson, and he's just shown me that he has a hunger. And if Till had shown me that hunger, I'd have been okay with it. But it just seeing his face, just being okay with. He was winning that fight. He won the first round with that knockdown. He was on his way to doing something, and he just lost basically the next 4. You could make that debate. If you want to be nice, you can say 3-2. But in my humble opinion, I was just so disappointed in Darren Till. He really, really let me down that day. And I just think Vettori is going to smash him. I think Vettori wants that fight with Israel Adesanya. Darren Till dreams about that fight. There's a big difference. With those kind of mentalities. And I think Marvin's going to put a lot of pressure on him. I think he's going to use his jab, and I think he's going to use his takedowns. I think he's just going to outwork Darren Till. Darren Till has good takedown defense, but he doesn't have it for a long time. He can be taken down. And what he does on the ground, super suspect. Man, just to lose like that to Tyron Woodley like that, it is what it is. But I will keep it short because I do have a breakdown on it. So I got Vettori by 4th round submission. I just think he's gonna outwork Darren Till and get the sub. But yeah, that's it for the video, y'all. Hope you guys enjoyed. Don't forget to follow me on my Instagram. Don't forget to follow me on my Twitter.